So then, we are back with a more understanding from the Renewed Covenant from the Aramaic English translation of the Word. This translation is from the original documents of the prophets of old, from the time of Israel. And most of these came from the Torah, and then the prophets, and then the writings later. There are new developments around the world we can understand, and portions of it is related with the Great Britain. There are some talks of then the separation of Scotland and then Great Britain, and evaluating from the end of times perspective, is that important situation at the moment. Understanding the costs involved in having United Kingdom then separated, it is related quite a bit with expenses. These days where the market is extremely fragile, it may not be wise having the separation at the moment. Because as we understand, the euro in Europe is breaking, and then there is a new understanding of market in the Middle East, and then also in Europe. So the time of having a nation during this fragility around the world may not be wise. Because Great Britain is doing their job in terms of making sure they cut costs. They are involved in privatization and the leaning of the government and making more profitable. And there are truly areas of improvement. However, it takes time. Because these developments and these improvements, they were then selected not very long ago. And then sometimes it's very tempting for other countries involved with a system to separate themselves and then try their own ventures, when sometimes it's not very wise. So understanding the evolution of events as we understand, and then the many plans prone for great return in the near future, and then the savings coming from many areas being privatized, it would be wise of waiting for some time until the market is then set in place, and we understand it from the records of heaven, of China being then the leader of the end trade, and until the market then is more prone of having a popular goal per nation doing trade with China, it would be very wise to wait for some time. Because there are many changes going on around the world. We are doing the time of a transition, but at the same time it's very fragile, and each nation should be wise in what to do and what not to do mostly. So in any new transition that comes up, nations, they always trying to do their own for so many years, but then they must consider heaven's influence at this moment in what not to do. Because the time of big changes in terms of a country must be done very wisely. So the separation of Great Britain and Scotland, it's not truly the time for it. Understanding the consequences of the market and then the fragility thereof, it should maintain as a kingdom at least for some time. So then the improvements then started in Great Britain at least can generate more chances of strengthening the kingdom. Because the market yet is fragile, but then we understand the plan of the future. Please stay tuned, much more coming up.